Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and in this video I'm going to tell you about the RV camping options in the towns of Buena Vista and Leadville, Colorado. The two towns are just about 35 miles apart. Buena Vista has a population of about 2,900 and Leadville is about 26 to 2,700. Buena Vista's elevation is 7,965 feet, and Leadville's elevation, as you can see on the sign behind me, is 10,152 feet. And one interesting thing about these two cities is they're not big on chain restaurants. Buena Vista has a Subway, and then at the Love's truck stop there is a counter for Chester's Fried Chicken and Godfather's Pizza. But those are just small counters, they're not full restaurants. And in Leadville, they have a Subway and they have a Taco Bell. And that is it for chain restaurants. There are a lot of small privately owned restaurants in both towns. So what I'm going to do now is go to my computer and pull up the map for Buena Vista and Leadville and show you what the RV camping possibilities are here in these two cities. So let's go. Now, if you're not staying in an RV park that has a dump and fill service, one place in town where you can do it is at the Leadville Sanitation District, which is on the south side of town just as you're coming into town. They have a dump station here and a freshwater fill station, which I'm doing right now. And they have a self-service on your honor pay system for it. It says $20 for doing a dump, which is a bit much, but if you have to, you have to. And then $10 to fill up fresh water. And you just put your payment in this box right here. So that's a good option if you really need to. So first let's take a look at Buena Vista. There's an RV park here that is a little ways out of town called Moonstream. It's $45 a day. Then there are three RV parks right next to each other here. Mount Princeton is $75 a day. I couldn't find out the price for Snowy Peaks or Valley Mobile, but I bet they're about the same, all three of these. And then a little further north out of town is this Arkansas River campground. It's $51 a day. Arrowhead Point is $78 a day. And these two and all the ones in town I showed you, these are all full hookup 50 amp RV parks. Now this Rainbow Bridge campground, it's $28 a day, but there are no hookups at all. And in the town of Buena Vista, it's kind of hard to find a place to park just for like lot docking. There is a Love's truck stop right about here. And it's a small truck stop though. They've only got about 6 truck spaces for overnight parking. I would hate to take up one of those and have a trucker come by later in the evening and he can't get in. So I don't think I would go there unless I was really desperate. However, there are a few restaurants and other businesses around town that have gone out of business that have a fairly good sized parking lot. I'm pretty sure you could park there overnight without any problem, because a business out of business, there's nobody to complain. And I stayed in Buena Vista for 4 days and I never once saw a police car. So I think if you really looked around town, you could find some lot somewhere where you could park for a night. When I was there for 4 days, I parked at a place called Swisher Diesel, which is right about here, but they were doing some work on my motorhome engine. They've got a large lot there. You might want to just stop and say, you know, can I stay here for the night? They've got enough space that I don't think they would bother. Now, going further up the road here, when we get into, this is the Twin Lakes area. There are campgrounds around here, but I think it's going to be the same thing. It's either an expensive full hookup place or a expensive no hookup place. But if you're looking for just 1 or 2 or 3 nights or a week, then you're probably not going to get into one of those RV parks, because they book for the month, by the month, for the whole summer season, and they're probably not going to have the space available. I think a lot of people book a year in advance to be able to stay by the month at these RV parks. Now let's take a look at Leadville. Leadville has only 2 RV parks with full hookups. This one that says Leadville RV Corral and this Sugarloafin Campground. Those are the only 2 RV parks that are full hookup. Now from Leadville, you go out here and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 campgrounds out by this lake, and then there's a couple more if you go further out this way. And these are all Forest Service campgrounds, which is part of the National Park Service, and there are no hookups. None of these campgrounds have any hookups at all, but they do charge like $30 a day, and basically for $30 a day you're paying for a parking spot. That's really all you get. They don't even have a place where you can go, and there's no dump station. There's no freshwater fill station. They have nothing like that that you would need. Now, if you have a National Parks pass like this, senior pass, then you get your camp fees for 1/2 price. So it would be $15 instead of $30. But still, $15 just for a parking spot, to me, is not a big deal. I just do not like to pay for camping if I'm not getting electricity. The way I see it, there's nothing to pay for, with the possible exception of maybe they have a dump station and a freshwater fill station, which none of these do. And another thing is, you're going to be crowded into a bunch of trees. And if you like that, that's fine, but I don't. Because that means I'm not going to be able to get satellite TV service, not going to get satellite internet service with all those trees around. So I would not want to go out here for that reason. And of course, since these are part of the Forest Service, the time limit is 14 days. And then technically after those 14 days, if you still want to stay camping, you have to move to another campground that is at least 30 miles away from the one you were at. Now, I don't know how they can enforce that. So, if you really want to, you could stay this one for 14 days, 14 days here, 14, 14, 14. You might be able to do that, but then you're moving around every 2 weeks. So that's kind of annoying. Of course, on the other hand, you stay here 14 days, you're going to have to come down to the sanitation district to do a dump and fill, and then go back. So you could keep doing that if you really want to. And by the way, this Leadville RV Corral is $45 a night, and Sugarloafin is $52 a night. But again, they're probably going to be booked up solid for the whole summer. Like I said, people make a reservation a year in advance for next year. So you're probably not going to be able to go and just get a few days. And if you think about it, if you're paying $30 a day for either one of these, 30 times 30, that's $900 a month. That's an expensive rate, even for full hookups. It's super, super expensive for no hookups. However, if you're coming through Leadville for just 1 or 2 or 3 days, there are places in town where you can find to park just lot docking. There are a few public parking lots that are for visitors, and nothing says you can't park overnight. That's where I'm at right now. I'm going to go out and show you just where that is, the one that I'm staying in. One nice thing about Leadville, by the way, is that they have a Safeway. Pretty good sized Safeway store right there for grocery shopping. So let's go outside and I'll show you where I'm camped for 3 days. I'm going to be here. Now there are actually a few parking lots around town where you can park your RV, assumably overnight, like this one. And the only sign here is this sign that says visitor parking, and that's me. And this lot has only been used by us two for last night. This is on 4th Street, right behind the Opera House, which is that big building there. And it doesn't say how long you can stay, so that's where I'm staying. Well folks, I hope this video has been some use to you. If you come to Leadville for either a stay of a day or 2 or 3, or maybe for a couple weeks. And like I said, if you want to stay for a month, then you got to get a reservation at one of the 2 RV parks. There's a pop-up camper there just coming in. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. Good day, folks.